Today, as promised, we're diving into how to set up the police job on your Fivem server, bringing law and order to the streets in an engaging and immersive way. Before we delve into the setup details, let's address the elephant in the room, the stunning cyberpunk-themed YMAP that serves as the backdrop for our police operations. This unique and rare map adds a futuristic flair to the server, setting it apart from the usual environments you might be accustomed to. Unfortunately, for those interested in acquiring this YMAP, the creator has ceased its sale, leaving it as a coveted piece only a few have access to. Myself bought through a friend since 2022. But today's focus is beyond the aesthetics. We're here to explore the intricacies of setting up the police job within this captivating cyberpunk environment. Stay tuned as we walk through the process, ensuring your server's law enforcement is up and running effectively, ready to tackle the challenges of this high-tech, neon-lit world. To initiate the setup process, launch Visual Studio Code, VS Code, and open the complete QB folder. This action grants you access to all the necessary files and configurations for the various scripts, including the police role. Once you've located the police job, proceed to open its config file. It's crucial to ensure that the target system is enabled, true, as this enables interactive features essential for the role, such as duty sign-in and sign-off. The next step involves defining the locations for these duty interactions. To do this, you'll need to obtain the coordinates from within the game for the spots you've chosen for these features. For the purpose of this tutorial, I've decided to place these points right at the entrance of the police department, leveraging two computers that are situated there. This decision is based on creating a realistic and convenient location for officers to begin and end their shifts. To implement this, simply copy the in-game coordinates of the desired locations. You use the command vector 3 in chat to get the coordinates. After you've secured the coordinates, insert them into the designated section of the config file for duty locations. If you're incorporating multiple locations, such as the two computers at the department's entrance in this case, ensure each set of coordinates is correctly added. Following the setup of duty sign-in and sign-off locations, the next step is to designate a parking area for spawning police vehicles. Find an appropriate spot in the parking area that would realistically serve as a spawn point for police vehicles. Once you've selected the ideal location, copy the in-game coordinates of this spot. These coordinates will be the reference point for where police vehicles are spawned, ensuring officers have immediate access to transportation when they begin their shifts. After copying the coordinates, navigate to the vehicle section within the police job's config file. Here, paste the copied coordinates into the designated area for vehicle spawns. The next modification in the setup of the police job involves updating the location of the impound. The impound serves a crucial function in the law enforcement ecosystem of your server, allowing officers to store vehicles that have been forcibly impounded. What sets this impound location apart is that vehicles can only be retrieved by the intervention of an officer, adding a layer of realism and interaction between the police force and the community. Continuing with our police job setup, the next step involves adding a new stash location. The stash is intended to serve as a personal storage space for police officers, allowing them to manage inventory items, particularly those that are confiscated during their duties. For optimal convenience and efficiency, it's recommended to place this new stash location close to the cells. This strategic placement ensures that officers have quick and easy access to the stash when they need to deposit or retrieve items, especially after processing detainees or confiscating illegal items. When setting up this stash location, it will configure as a personal stash. This means it will be assigned an ID, distinguishing it from general or shared storage areas. The primary use of this stash should be for storing illegal weapons or items that are not immediately needed, but may be required for evidence or further investigation. To implement this new stash location, select an appropriate spot near the cells and copy its in-game coordinates. Then, integrate these coordinates into the police job's config file, specifying that this stash is intended for personal use by officers and outlining its intended purposes. Next, we'll introduce a new location for trash disposal within our police job setup. This feature is designed to automatically remove items discarded in the trash from the server after a period of 1 day. It's a practical solution for officers who need to dispose of items such as gunpowder and other similar materials that are no longer required or should not be stored long-term. To establish this new trash location, we'll employ a method similar to the one we used for setting up the stash. The next crucial step in enhancing our police job setup involves establishing the Armory, a key feature for any law enforcement roleplay. For the unique environment provided by this cyberpunk-themed YMAP, I've designated a special room to serve as the Armory. It's essential to select the perfect spot within this room to position the Armory, making it accessible for officers in need of equipment. Once you've identified the ideal location for the Armory within the YMAP, it's time to update the config file to reflect this new location. This ensures that officers know where to go to access weapons and gear, particularly in preparation for or during a gunfight situation. Recognizing that it may be impractical for all officers to access weapons from a single point, especially during high-tension scenarios, adding a second Armory location within the station can significantly improve efficiency and response time. This redundancy ensures that officers can arm themselves quickly without congestion or delay, allowing for a more effective law enforcement response. When configuring these Armory locations in the config file, it's critical to ensure that the code is clear, concise, and accurately reflects both sets of coordinates. Properly implementing these locations in the code ensures that the system recognizes and utilizes both Armory points as intended. Before we delve into setting up the fingerprint and evidence systems, it's worth highlighting an existing feature within the police job configuration that enables officers to access CCTV footage of various shops and banks remotely. By scrolling through the config file, you'll come across this functionality, which allows police officers to check CCTV from any location using the command followed by the camera ID. However, aiming to enhance this feature for added realism, I've decided to create a dedicated room within the map for camera monitoring purposes. To implement this modification, first, navigate to the main file located in the server-side folder of the police job. Use the search function to find instances of cam within the file. Next, head over to my Discord channel, specifically under the police job section, where you'll find a code snippet tailored for this enhancement. Copy this snippet and then paste it into your code as demonstrated in the tutorial video. This adjustment will now restrict officers to use the CCTV functionality from within this dedicated room only, enhancing the immersion and operational realism of the police job on your server. It's crucial to adjust the coordinates in the snippet to match the specific location of your designated CCTV monitoring room. This ensures that the feature functions correctly within the unique layout of your cyberpunk-themed YMAP. Now let's turn our attention to configuring the fingerprint and evidence systems, key components for enhancing the investigative capabilities of our police job setup. To integrate these systems seamlessly into our server, we're going to utilize specific locations within our cyberpunk-themed YMAP that align with the realism and functionality we aim to achieve. For the fingerprint system, I've chosen a system screen within the police department as the designated point for this activity. This choice is based on the need for a high-tech solution that fits within the cyberpunk aesthetic, providing officers a realistic environment for processing fingerprints. To implement this, simply copy the coordinates of this system screen from the game. Then, navigate to the police job's config file and paste these coordinates into the designated section for the fingerprint system. This ensures that officers will interact with this particular screen to access the fingerprint database and conduct analyses. Following a similar process for the evidence system, I've selected another screen within the department to function as the central point for managing evidence. This screen will act as the hub for officers to store, catalog, and review evidence collected during their investigations. Again, copy the in-game coordinates of this chosen screen and paste them into the config file, but this time under the section dedicated to the evidence system. Configuring the outfit changing room is a crucial step in enhancing the police job setup on your Fivem server, especially for servers that require officers to adapt their uniforms according to different duties or scenarios. Although this aspect isn't directly configurable through the police job config file, it's still an essential feature for maintaining realism and operational flexibility within the police force. Given that there's already a suitable changing room in the cyberpunk-themed map, incorporating this feature requires working with the QB clothing script. To begin, navigate to the QB clothing directory and open the config file. As you scroll down, you'll encounter the default configuration for the police job, which includes coordinates for the current outfit changing locations. To update or add a new changing room location, simply replace the existing coordinates with the new ones corresponding to the location you've selected on the map. This process ensures that officers have access to the changing room facility directly within the immersive environment of your server. Additionally, recognizing that outfit changes can sometimes be a more time-consuming process for newer players, I've decided to add an extra changing room. This not only accommodates a smoother transition for players adjusting to the game mechanics, but also helps in preventing bottlenecks at a single changing location. To implement this, adjust the coordinates in the QB clothing config file to include this additional changing room location. To enhance the police system with new ranks, we're introducing several upgrades designed to engage players and incentivize performance improvement, leading to promotions and recognition. For this purpose, navigate to the qbcore directory, access the shared folder, and open the Jobs Lua file. I have preemptively implemented changes here, including specifications on who requires boss approval for certain actions, a key feature to maintain structure within the ranks, mirroring the default grades found in GTA 5. For those interested in integrating these updates into your server, you're welcome to join my Discord channel. There, you'll find the necessary codes ready to be copied and pasted into your Jobs Lua file, ensuring your police system is both dynamic and engaging. Furthermore, we plan to incorporate the boss menu into our server. To achieve this, proceed to QB Management and open the config file. In this step, I will disable the target system by setting it to false and opt for the default method to access the boss menu. This approach simplifies the process, making it straightforward and independent of any specific in-game entities. For the final touch in our comprehensive setup, we'll explore the default parking garage feature, a key facility for the police force within our Fivem server. This garage is primarily utilized by officers to park their personal vehicles during their shifts, ensuring their cars are securely stored while they're on duty. To access and review this feature, you'll need to navigate to the QB Garage's directory and open the config file. Within this file, conduct a search for police to locate the specific configuration for the police parking garage. Although I won't be making any modifications to this particular setting, I'll demonstrate how this system operates within the server. This demonstration is crucial for understanding the practical aspects of the garage's functionality, especially how officers interact with it at the start and end of their shifts. If you're among the lucky ones who have managed to get your hands on this exclusive map, I've got an exciting offer for you. If this video hits 100 likes, I'll share the police job config file tailored specifically for this map, absolutely free. It's a simple ask for the valuable insights and enhancements this config can bring to your server, enhancing the gameplay experience for your police force. And that wraps up our detailed walkthrough on setting up and enhancing the police job within your Fivem server. From integrating new ranks to motivate player performance, to configuring essential functionalities like the Armory, evidence, and fingerprint systems, we've covered the key aspects that will enrich the police roleplay experience. We also explored the practical utility of the default parking garage, a vital feature that adds realism and convenience for officers managing their personal vehicles. Thank you for joining me in this tutorial. If you found it helpful, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing for more content like this. Your support is greatly appreciated and motivates me to continue creating helpful guides for the Fivem community. Until next time, keep innovating, stay engaged, and continue to build amazing experiences for your players. This is Brave, signing off. A quick update on our Discord community. The Exquiz, previously a separate entity within our main Discord, has now been integrated into a single, unified platform. I'm thrilled to introduce Coden, our dedicated Fivem developer hub. With over 650 active users and developers, Coden serves as a vibrant space for those seeking assistance and those eager to lend their expertise. In an effort to streamline support and collaboration, I've restructured the Discord to cater to specific frameworks, making it easier for members to find the help they need. Additionally, I've set up forums where I'll be sharing my latest videos directly, ensuring you have hassle-free access to new script links without the interruption of ads. An extra user forum also provides a space for members to exchange free scripts, request videos on specific topics, and we also have developers who creates custom vehicles and Vinewood logo sign from scratch. Coden is not just a hub for sharing knowledge. It's a community where creativity and collaboration thrive. We're also on the lookout for moderators to help maintain a supportive and engaging environment. So, if you're passionate about Fivem development, eager to learn, share, or simply be part of an active developer community, Coden is the place for you. Join us and be part of our growing Fivem Developer Hub. Your journey to mastering Fivem development starts here.